Oh, he's just a good boy who loves good head pats. I love him. So, welcome back to another video, everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting, and all that good lot. Now that we have that out the way, let's actually get into the video, because this is actually one of the hardest videos to make, just in the editing side, because complicated matters that I won't have to go into. But luckily I got it, and I got it to you all, and it was pretty fun, even with all the even with all the editing getting in the way. But there's a slightly nice backstory behind this whole painting. Painting and illustration, basically. I didn't know what colors I wanted to use for this one, and I didn't even have a name at the time. So I actually sent this over to my friend Kat, who, is actually, I decided to name this piece after her. But I sent it over to her and I asked her, just pick one color. And she picked red, and red, if you've seen any of my last couple of videos, you'd realize that red is all over those videos. So she picked red, and I really loved the idea that came in my head of giving her red hair. You would have seen that in the thumbnail already. So I yelled all throughout the text chat, or at least as much as you could when texting. And I basically just said, thank you, thank you, thank you. That works. I love that idea. And I ran with it. And that also gave me the idea of basically making her a black redhead, because I haven't seen too many of those in a while. Which also reminds me of, was it last year when Disney announced that the Little Mermaid live action remake would be starring a black actress as Ariel? And then there was a controversy about redheads and black people and things of that nature, which was odd. But again, that's what this all reminded me of. that was an odd ramble. But yeah. So as we just continue to ink this whole piece, I was kind of glad that I stayed with the gray washes, as well as this particular dip brush pen that I use for inking, just because I got so many different types of line weights and line variation throughout the piece. And if it wasn't for this, the hair would not look as good as it did. Honestly, the hair is what made this piece. And speaking of the hair and this piece, this also reminded me of Ciri from The Witcher. And only reason it actually really does is because I recently replayed The Witcher 3 in August of this year, as well as I finally got to watching the Netflix show just simply titled The Witcher. And that show was pretty great. I wasn't too sure how I was going to like it, and I already know I'm extremely late by 10 months now, 11 months now. It came out in December of 2019. Wow, that feels like a decade ago. Wow. So basically, I ended up watching the show, and I really loved the show. Simple as that. The storytelling that the Witcher books are known for, as well as the games actually, are all the form of storytelling that they're known for is all over the TV show. Netflix show, TV show, same thing right now. And it was pretty great. So this piece ended up reminding me a lot of Ciri, especially as she gets older, which you don't see in the show yet, or at least you might see in season 2. I'm not sure, but basically it reminds me a lot of how Ciri looks towards the end of The Witcher 3 and all that good stuff. So I really liked it. And that's my quick review of The Witcher, apparently. But back to the piece. I'm not sure why I added the blue onto the left eye, but I'm not too sure why I did it. But I'm not sure. It worked later on. I think I wanted to use some color mixing. I think I wanted to give her a birthmark, but then I messed up. I'm not too sure. But the washes of watercolor kind of worked. I actually used 3 shades of brown here. It was a greenish brown, a reddish brown, and then a brown because I mixed the brown straight from the tube throughout the actual piece. And as I'm darkening around the eye, it starts to make a little bit of sense. And I actually kind of did the same thing with the lips a little later. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, because those colors blend in a little better. Now I'm not sure why I gave her blue eyes. I think because I like the genetic combination of red hair and blue eyes. Apparently it's a very rare genetic combination that not many people have in the world, but when you do, you are considered very special, which explains a lot about some of my character designs. But anyway, I'm not too sure how I like the brushwork around the neck. When I did it, I felt that it was supposed to be a lighting, a different lighting source, but the way I'm doing it now, it doesn't look as well as I thought it did. It doesn't look as proper as I thought it would have, but I'm pretty sure I work on that a little later, or at least I hope I do. Sometimes I can't remember how I do certain things, which is why I like to rewatch my own stuff to make sure I am kind of consistent, or at least as good as I possibly can be, which is the only thing I can really say helps me improve, just looking at my own work. But that ear, I like the cuts of the ear. For some reason, I don't know how to say it. The dark and light shapes that make up the ear, you can't really see it right now, but now that I'm looking at it, it makes a lot of sense. It helps with the lighting, at least. And here I am blending in the lips, which again look a lot better with a little bit of brown on them. I'm pretty sure I made them too pink to start off, and now that I think about it, the teeth don't look as bad as I thought. Pretty cool. So on to the red hair, because I have to save the best part for last, apparently, because yeah, that's just how I do it. So I ended up using the same cadmium red, and that cadmium red it's a good one. It is great. So as I kept going around, I came to realize that I needed some more line work, at least. Or at least I felt that I needed more line work. I actually didn't. I just like to use line work a lot to have lines of demarcation throughout the illustration, because I am not confident in doing lineless paintings yet. I am working on that. I'm actually going to work on that today after I'm done with everything that I need to do. But I actually do end up adding a little bit of white to this piece a little later. Oh, never mind. Right now. The white didn't work out as best as it should have, which is why I kind of wanted to add a little bit of blending into it a little later. I'm not sure how to explain that, but basically the blending of the white and the red didn't really help. Not really. I thought it would, but it doesn't. I thought I could lighten it up, but that's when I need to use the white of the paper. Which reminds me of the watercolor lesson that I did 2 months ago now, that I'm probably going to need to re-up. So yeah. And to match the blue eyes, I wanted to use a blue background. This is actually ultramarine blue with a little bit of cerulean mixed in. Actually, the right side is cerulean and the left side is ultramarine. Now that I remember. I actually like mixing this way because it provided a bit of contrast for each side, and it helped the red hair stick out from the background more or less. And Again, I really think I should have added some more white, or at least taken out that white. Now, why I added this giant line, this giant black line, I really can't tell you. But yeah, it's kind of that. And I am glad that I added onto this hair, because last time I actually forgot the hair, but you won't be able to see that. So here is the pencil sketch. I really liked it. There's not really much else to say. I pushed it a lot though. And here is the inking stage. I like the inking stage a little bit more than the initial coloring, but I'm starting to say that about a lot of things. And so here is the final piece. I really liked it, honestly. The unfinished piece, the unfinishedness at the very bottom, I really did like as well. Just to show like the naked brush strokes, basically. I don't know how else to say it. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Do subscribe and do like the video and tell me what you think in the comment section below. And until next time, I will catch you all later.